Time now for Top Story here on France 24. And expectations of a breakthrough in peace talks currently being held between India and Pakistan remain low. The two nuclear-armed rivals resumed a formal peace process back in February. It had broken off in 2008 after the attack on Mumbai by Pakistan-based militants, which killed 166 people. But the spotlight in this round of negotiations is also on Pakistan's first female foreign minister, Hina Rabbani Kar. Well, joining me now to talk about this is our international affairs editor, Annette Young. Morning to you.
Good morning.
First of all, Hina Rabbani Kar, just tell us why she's important and why her appointment is creating such a buzz.
Well, she's incredibly young. She's only 34, and as you can see there, she actually happens to be rather photogenic. And it does mean there's something in the order of a 40-plus year age gap between her and her Indian counterpart. And of course, many have been quick to suggest that she lacks the stature, the sort of experience required for that very important role, especially given the military's long history of involvement when it comes to determining the country's foreign policy. And there's also been much made of the fact that she has a background in hotel management. She has a postgraduate degree in hotel management.
Useful.
Well, you never know. But there is more to the story than that.
Sure.
She, like Thailand's first female Prime Minister, comes from a very well-established political family. The reason she got into power was there was a law back in 2002 that required politicians to have a university degree. Her father did not, and as a result was one of a number of politicians who, by default, lost their seat. And what they did is pass them on to their sons, their wives, and in this case, their daughters. She has apparently won 2 consecutive elections, but critics argue it's mainly because of the family's political influence in the area as opposed to her individually. But despite her age and despite her background, this is the first time she's been in a ministerial role. She was formerly the Deputy Minister of Economic Affairs. Anyway, let's take a listen to what she had to say before this crucial meeting in New Delhi.
This is my, as you know, first trip to India, to New Delhi as a Foreign Minister of Pakistan. And I bring good wishes of the people of Pakistan, of the government of Pakistan, and hope that these two countries we have learned lessons from history, but are not burdened by history, and we can move forward as good, friendly neighbors who have a stake in each other's future and who understand the responsibility that both have to the region and within the region.
Anyway, Stuart, joining me now from London is Jonathan Paris, a specialist on Pakistani affairs at the Atlantic Council. Jonathan Paris, thank you so much for being with us this morning. First of all, just how effective is Ms Kar going to be in this role? And will she be able to carve out a role, given the fact that the military still very much drives the country's foreign policy as such?
Well, I'm quite optimistic that Hina Rabbani Kar will be a path breaker, in that she is young. She has a fresh style. She's as you pointed out, educated. She has a good track record in the economic affairs. She worked with the former AFPAC Special Representative Richard Holbrooke in calling for aid to be routed through the ministries rather than through foreign contractors in order to build institutions. And there's the nub of it. She has a vision to build Pakistani civilian institutions. The reason the military has always been so involved with foreign affairs and other things is because civil institutions have been weak. If she can strengthen the institutions, she will help the civilian side of Pakistan gain more of a say in foreign affairs, and I think that's a good thing for Pakistan.
And of course, Pakistan's image perhaps has taken a little bit of a battering recently. Of course, the raid on Osama bin Laden's compound.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it's sort of seen as a way of relaunching the country's image, if you like?
A part of that, it is. There is a dynamic between civil-military relations in Pakistan, which is going on side by side with this effort to restore normalized relations with India. And I think given that the military has so much on its plate now in terms of, you're right, restoring its own credibility, that they might be more willing to cede or to allow Foreign Minister Carr to build up her own credibility, her own authority. After all, if she does a good job for Pakistan, she's doing a good job for the Pakistan military.
Jonathan, coming back to these actual talks, I mean, expectations of a breakthrough are very low indeed. In fact, can we expect anything at all to come out of these negotiations?
Oh, absolutely. There's a huge trust deficit as a result of the Mumbai attacks in 2008. And these talks are a number of talks in a series that have begun 5 months ago. And the fact that they haven't collapsed is in itself a good thing, because it's a signal that India and Pakistan are not about to go to war. And that's a good start. But the bar for success is quite low, and it is quite important that she and Foreign Minister Krishna, who's almost twice her age, or I guess he's over twice her age, I'm sorry, that they reach some kind of rapport, and maybe they can form some kind of relationship, personal dynamic that can lead this process forward, and that's absolutely crucial. But they will not, I repeat, they will not resolve any of the sticky issues over the LET involvement in the Mumbai attacks, over Afghanistan issues, and especially over Kashmir.
Jonathan Paris, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much. So, Stuart, definitely a woman to keep an eye on.
Exactly. We will do that here on France 24. I'm sure Annette will be following her every move. Stay with us. Latest news coming up very shortly.